Hello friends. Today we are ahead with part 2 of module 4, that is on alternative building technologies. The outline of today's class goes like this: revision of previous class, ferrocement and ferroconcrete. In that we'll be dealing with introduction, materials and construction methods. Let us revise the previous class. In previous class we have discussed with efficient foundations, types of walls, construction techniques. And in efficient foundations, we discussed regarding the use of stones, which was quite common in South India for foundation of walls. And the modern practices of using cement mortar makes the foundation rather expensive traditionally, especially in two-storied buildings which have been built on stone and mud mortar foundation. And also the stress level in the foundation is generally so low that even mud mortars should suffice. So this was about efficient foundation. Instead, we can go with soil cement as a mortar or soil lime cement as a mortar, which can be proved as cost effective alternative. And apart from that, we have discussed types of walls. That is the simplest subdivision of considering walls were load bearing and non load bearing. Wherein in load bearing construction, the weight of the floors and walls of superstories are carried by walls and transferred eventually to the foundation, but in case of non-load bearing walls, the weight of the floors and upper story walls are carried by columns and later on transferred to the soil through footings. These were some of the type of walls what we studied. And apart from that, we also studied cast in situ RC walls, rammed earth walls. But in construction techniques, we dealt with masonry bonding, especially hollow concrete block wall with stretcher bond we discussed, and also header bond with stabilized mud blocks we discussed, and also the rat trap bond, which is famous in Kerala nowadays, wherein it reduces almost around 25% of the bricks. And apart from that, we discussed with composite masonry, wherein different materials will be used, and to make up the stretch, we use through stones. The same happens with the cavity walls also, wherein the cavity walls, it helps in increasing the what called as the width of the wall. There will be cavity left in between, and especially these kind of walls are used in high temperature areas. And also we discussed with respect to rammed earth also. These were discussed in the previous class. And today's class will be dealing with what called as ferrocement and ferroconcrete. Yes, let us discuss with the introduction part. Ferrocement is a special form of reinforced concrete. It is a composite material consisting of cement, sand, mortar, matrix reinforced with layers of small diameter wire meshes. It differs from conventional reinforced concrete primarily by the manner in which the reinforcement is arranged with the brittle matrix. Since its behavior is quite different from that of conventional reinforced concrete in performance, strength, and potential applications, it is classed as a separate material. Usually, steel bars are also used in addition to wire mesh to form a steel skeleton, which helps in retaining the required shape of the ferrocement components until the cement mortar hardens. But the wire mesh reinforcement will be uniformly distributed across the thickness of the element, which helps in achieving improved mechanical properties through fracture, tensile, frictional strength, fatigue, and impact resistance. In addition, it also eliminates the use of form work, particularly for complicated shapes, and ferrocement is used in thin walled structural components where strength and rigidity are developed through form and shape, and hence they are lightweight. In view of this, ferrocement is ideally suited for prefabricated construction and in particular for housing applications. Especially this happens in developing countries. And the success of ferrocement in various what called as terrestrial applications can be attributed to readily available of materials which are available locally, need of low level technology for its production, and better utilization of available natural resource or human resource what we say, and architectural flexibility. So it has vital importance. And the history of ferrocement dates back to about 1848 when Joseph Louis Lambert started experimenting on reinforcing mortar to make articles for which Normally, timber would have been used. Lambert had made plant tubs, water tanks, and rowing boats from this material, which he called ferris cement and patented it in 1852. In early 1940s, Italian engineering architect, that is Dr. Pierluigi Nervi, resurrected the original idea of Lambert and established the preliminary characteristics of ferrocement through a series of tests. He also pioneered the use of ferrocement in buildings by constructing a small storehouses and covering a swimming pool with a 15-meter of vault. So, this ferrocement can be considered as a material with many paradoxes. This is because it possesses a degree of toughness, ductility, strength, crack resistance, and durability considerably greater than other forms of reinforced concrete. It has been possible to achieve these improved properties in structural components, which has a thickness of 25 mm, which dimension is unthinkable in other forms of concrete construction. And normally, the improvements in properties of materials are associated with sophistication in manufacturing process with increased demand for quality control. But this is not so in case of ferrocement, which is a forgiving material as these improved properties can be achieved with almost primitive techniques without any advanced technology. And to talk furthermore, most of the advanced materials had their origin in developed countries and later took birth in developing countries. But ferrocement as a new material had its roots in developing countries of the world than the lands of the east and west. This is all about ferrocement and what it constitutes of. The composite or materials used for ferrocement are cement, sand, wire mesh, steel bars. And in addition to the above, high tensile steel wires are also used for pre-stressed ferrocement. Yes, let us discuss one by one. Cement. Ordinary Portland cement that is commercially available in the market is satisfactory for ferrocement construction. However, other types of Portland cement can be used like sulfate resisting cement for ferrocement construction in marine environment, Portland Pozzolano cement which has also been recommended for ferrocement as it provides good resistance to sulfate attack and also competitive in price compared with the ordinary Portland cement. Rice as cash up to 20% by weight can be used as pozzolano and mixed with Portland cement without any deleterious effects on the mortar. This is about cement. Coming to the sand, well graded natural river sand with particle size less than 4.75 mm and having fineness modulus between 2.5 to 3 is suited for ferrocement construction. As cover to reinforcing mesh is small and does not exceed 2 to 3 mm, the cement mortar covering the mesh wires has to be dense to prevent corrosion of reinforcement. Hence, grading of sand for mortar mixes become very important to get workable cement mortar with low water cement ratio. And the water used for preparing cement sand mortar should be potable and relatively free from organic compounds. And the proportion of cement sand mix generally varies from 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 3, and water cement ratio varies from 0.35 to 0.55. This is with respect to sand. Coming to the wire mesh. One of the important constituents of ferrocement is a wire mesh reinforcement. These generally consist of thin wires, galvanized or ungalvanized, either woven or welded at their intersection. But the mechanical properties of ferrocement depend on the type, quantity, orientation, and strength properties of the mesh reinforcement. Different types of mesh reinforcement are available in the market which are suitable of ferrocement construction. Some of them are listed below, wherein we can think of what called as hexagonal wire mesh 2. Hexagonal wire mesh, woven wire mesh we have, welded wire mesh we have, expanded wire mesh we have. Let us discuss in brief with respect to all this mesh. Hexagonal wire mesh, also commonly known as chicken wire mesh, and is fabricated from cold drawn wires of diameter varying from 22 to 26 gauge and woven into hexagonal patterns with mesh opening varying from 10 to 25 And this is the cheapest and easiest to handle and most commonly used in ferrocement construction. Coming to woven wire mesh, it is fabricated by simply weaving the galvanized wires into a desired grid sizes without welding them at intersections, but the grids are generally square in nature. The mesh wires are not perfectly straight and some amount of waviness exists. Coming to welded wire mesh, it is fabricated in rectangular or square pattern by perpendicular intersecting wires, usually of 2 to 3 diameter, and it is made of low to medium tensile strength steel, which are much stiffer than hexagonal or woven, and they are welded together at the intersection. Expanded metal mesh, which is sometimes used in ferrocement construction and is formed by slitting thin gauge sheets and expanding them in a direction perpendicular to the slits to produce diamond shape openings. This mesh has inherent advantages like good mechanical bond and ease of placing. This is all about wire mesh. Remaining skeletal steel, admixtures, and other retarders, water reducers, and also the construction methods will be discussed in next class. Thank you.